everyone, welcome back to Della Debt Payoff. Today's video, we're going to be budgeting our Friday, October 17th paycheck. This is our second of 3 paychecks in the month of October. My paycheck budget is the normal amount at $1,858.56. My husband's paycheck amount for Friday, October 17th is also the normal amount at $1,991.48. And for his part-time job, zero budget, because we do not expect to be getting a paycheck from this position, from this job. And this is a new line, category line that I've added this paycheck budget, miscellaneous. This isn't to carry over any remaining budget from a previous paycheck amount. This is if I sold something on, let's say, Poshmark, Mercari. I'm not going to really budget anything here, but if we got paid during this paycheck period, that's where I would record the actual amount that we bring in instead of writing it just down in my notes section I have at the bottom of this sheet. So our total income budgeted for this paycheck is $3,850.04. Let me make sure this is still in focus. Yes. All right, let's go down to our debt section. First loan on here is my Honda, and I'm budgeting $450 towards that loan to pay from this paycheck. My husband's Chevy, we're not budgeting to make any payments for that on this paycheck. And then my husband's student loans, we're going to budget $550. So, and then our mortgage, we're going to pay one of the loans out of this paycheck. We're going to pay $480, since that is one of the total payment for one of our mortgages. We have two. I've explained previously that that's how our mortgage company needed to do our loan, so we would not need to pay PMI. So they would honor my husband's doctorate degree. He's not an MD doctor, but he is in the medical field as a doctorate degree. And those positions, those professions, don't need to always have to pay PMI, depending on the bank that you find your mortgage through, until we found one to honor that. So that's why we have two loans. Total mortgage is around $1,800 for both of those loans. So our total debt payment, $1,480 budgeted from this paycheck. Next up is investments. I'm budgeting to put $60 into my Roth account. And I just want to reiterate that my husband has a Roth, but his contributions are pulled directly from his pay, so it goes right to his employer's, the sponsored plan for his Roth, and he also has a 401k. Going down to expenses, this is going to be a lighter section compared to last week's paycheck, just because this is the 2 of 3 paychecks, so we don't need to really spend as much on groceries when we've done that previously on previous paycheck budget. Life insurance. My husband's life insurance premium is coming out the mid-month, and that's $28.12. So I'll put that there. But for cell phones, nothing budgeted. Internet, nothing budgeted. And our subscriptions will be nothing budgeted here. I'll push this up a little bit so we can then see. So it's the fixed expenses that I have, and then variable expenses over here. Electric bill will not be budgeted out of this paycheck. Neither will gas or our water bill. We're gonna have a small grocery budget at $135. A small gasoline budget at $65. Zero entertainment. $110 for clothes. Nothing for health. Oh, I have these mixed up. I missed dining out. I have everything typed up on a different sheet, and I like to just write in the balances here. Dining out was $160. I'm gonna write in pen because that's easier to write on this whiteout stuff. Gasoline was $65. Dining out, $160. Entertainment is $0, and clothes are $110. It's one downside of using pens compared to pencils. So we have to mess with this whiteout stuff when I make a mistake. But I think pens are just easier to see. They're sharper. They're more clear in my videos compared to if I just did pencil. Really, I'd like to do this screen recorded on my computer, but I like the writing for the moment in time. Okay. Now health, $0. Gifts, $0 budget. Home items, we're gonna budget $50. For our dog, $0. Beauty, also $0. Cars, $20. Car insurance, $300. Home improvements, $0. And our hobbies, $0. So a total budget for our expenses, fixed and variable, is $868.12. Let me check that's in the camera. Yep. So that's our budget for expenses. I'll pull this back down. Now let's go on up to our savings goals. Out of this paycheck, we want to put $160 into our home sinking fund. And then for our personals, we both have our separate accounts that we put money in each paycheck. $135. Our Nest account, we want to put $700. For our dog account, we're not putting anything in this paycheck. This is for her vet visits, because those can get pretty pricey, and then any medicines that we purchase from Chewy.com. Not sponsored. Emergency, $200. We're trying to build this fund up We don't have a 6-month emergency fund, so we're trying to just pad that as well as we can. This is in a high yield savings account for an online bank that gets a little over, I want to say 3% in interest. So that's where we're putting our emergency funding, and we're not touching that at all. Like, not touching that, not even really thinking that it's available to us. And then vacation account, another $200 for that trip we're going on in February. It's not a trip that we've planned to go on ourselves. My husband's friend is having a destination wedding, and my husband's in the wedding, and we need to go. So that's been quite the process to save up for and pay for that. It will be pretty expensive when it's all said and done, with the accommodations being over $2,000. And then also we need to still buy flights. And my husband got his little suit, the suit he got, since the wedding is in February, where he bought them at with other groomsmen, the suits would be out of season in February, so they couldn't rent them. And with us being in another country, we couldn't return them the day after the wedding, so we had to buy the suit. We had to buy pants and shirts, and then the groom paid for the pants, which was nice. And then my husband wanted to just buy the matching jacket just so it all matched, which is just, I'm going on a tangent here, but this has just been quite the process to save and budget and pay for. So I'm excited to go, because I've never been where we're going, but I'll be glad to be able to redistribute out this to other areas, maybe paying towards debt or planning our own vacation. And I'm sure some people will say you can say no, but we didn't want to do that. We had the means, we do, to do this, and we've made it a priority to be able to pay for this and not go into debt for somebody else's wedding. So we're excited, but that's just, if you've noticed, there's been a lot of money deposited into this vacation account, and that is a little backstory and background as to why. My dream is to go on like a little beach vacation, just my family, drive down and maybe the Outer Banks or Emerald Isle, but that is probably a long ways away because we still have other priorities on our mind. So our savings budget for this paycheck is $1,395. So rounding out our summary, our budgeted income, $3,854. Making sure you can still see everything. Our expenses are $868.12. Our savings are $1,395. Our debt, $1,480. And our investments to my Roth account is just $60. So our net remaining is a positive $46.92. And I'm just going to leave that there. Considering last paycheck, I had a negative balance. So we have everything covered that we need to cover, and we'll leave that for maybe 10/31 paycheck or November or December if we are over slightly. I don't like to be over very often on our paychecks, so I'd like to keep that pretty rare and leave 40, 30, 20, some amount left. So our checking account is never zero, and if we have unexpected automatic withdrawals, there should be enough in there to cover that. I don't sign up for automatic withdrawals for anything that would be more than $200 or so. I have our utilities on automatic payments, our internet, our life insurance. So those are beneath $300. So like our mortgage and stuff, that's not on automatic withdrawal. I go in and manually make that payment along with all of our other debts. So that's our plan for the Friday, October 17th paycheck. My next video, a couple weeks from now, whenever I do our this paycheck budget to actuals, comparing how we did there. And then my video after that will be the 1031 paycheck budget. And then after that will be our month closeout for October to see how we did compared to our budget to actuals. And then our October debt update. I'm super excited for that one. I think it'll be really good. I think we'll see a lot of progress for the month of October just because we made an additional paycheck than normal. I'm excited. Hopefully we'll be able to meet our goal of being under $90,000 of consumer debt by December. I'm hoping it's before December, but you never know. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below your debt journey. And I just look forward to seeing you all and talking to you all on the next one. Bye.